let's hold that for a moment. As we've mentioned, we've talked a little about orangutan mariki. And there was a story doing the rounds on social media that orangutan mariki, that an OIA to orangutan mariki reveals that there are kind of guidelines for intervention, for state intervention in cases of gender identity disagreements at home. And a suggestion that orangutan mariki might uplift a child if its gender identity desires are not being fulfilled by its woke parents. Where did this story come from? How true it is? Well, to find out more, we are joined by Tamim Barakat, who is the managing editor, we are told, of an outfit called The Centrist, which kicked this story off. So, Tamim, thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay, now, Tamim, who funds The Centrist?
Well, we are privately funded.
By who?
I can assure
I don't care if you're privately funded. By whom?
Well, we would rather, actually, the people that are involved would rather stay behind the scenes. What
Why?
I can tell you is I'm the director of the company.
Why would they rather stay behind the scenes? Are they New Zealanders?
Well, I'm personally, actually, I am not a New Zealander. I am a resident
I didn't.
of New
I
Zealand,
said the people funding it. Are you one of the people funding it, Tamim?
Well, no, I work with the people funding it.
Okay, so the people funding it, are they New Zealanders?
Well, I'd rather have no comment on any of that.
See, Tamim, I'm not even going to get into this story because one thing I do believe about journalism, and I presume you've got some experience in it, Tamim, is that sunlight is the best disinfectant. Right? So we need to know when someone is representing being fair and impartial and honest, who the hell they are and where their money goes. I mean, you could be a front for the CIA, mate, or the Russians, unless you can reveal who funds you.
Well, like I said, we're privately funded. We're not government funded.
Okay. Privately funded by individuals, companies, or organisations?
Companies, yeah.
Oh, so you are funded by corporates?
I would rather just say no comment.
I know you'd rather, but I'm a journalist, Tamim. I'm a journalist, so I ask questions, Tamim.
Yeah.
And I expect answers because you're representing yourself as some sort of media organisation. I want to know who pays for your media organisation. You've already told us it's a bunch of corporates. Are they New Zealand corporates or foreign corporates or a mixture?
Well, if I may, I just don't have permission from the higher-ups who I would be naming.
So you are just a tool of some larger organisation?
Well, I'm here to discuss what our OIA was to orangutan.
Yeah, but I'm here to discuss who you are before we get into that.
But how does that change, if you don't mind my asking? And, I hear what you're saying, but how does that change?
We might have a little bit of talk about... let's cover that off then. What did the OIA ask and why?
Well, we wanted to know quite specifically, we had a question of are children who are not yet in care by the agency able to seek its help if their whānau caregivers resist transitioning? That was our question. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the answer we got back was, well, that's not something that's usually a concern. But, however, and just to quote them exactly, there may be times where a situation involving a rangatahi who is actively considering or is in the process of transitioning is facing resistance from whānau that may have an impact on their safety and well-being. And then it goes on to talk about this may involve either their physical or emotional well-being. And the emotional well-being piece is where it gets rather vague, and it would appear that orangutan mariki allow themselves quite a wide berth when considering what constitutes emotional well-being.
I'll be honest, to me, it doesn't sound like much of a story. It doesn't sound like it's ever actually practically had to happen. So let's get back to who you are. You say you're not a New Zealander. Are you actually based in New Zealand?
Yes. I'm in.
Okay, and you're employed full-time by the Centrist?
I am, yes.
Okay. Are the Centrist a registered company?
Centrist Limited is a registered company, yes.
Okay, so I can do a search on Centrist Limited and find out who the shareholders are?
Yes, you can.
Okay,
and
so who are the shareholders? See, I can find that anyway, so why don't you just tell me?
You can find it. You can find it.
Well, why don't you just tell me, Tamim, unless there's a reason for all the secrecy?
Well, actually, I don't know who all the shareholders are. Personally, I know of them, but I haven't met everybody involved in the global organization.
Who's your
Pardon
boss?
me?
Who's your boss?
Well, that's the part. Yeah, that's the part I'm surprised you don't know. Most people can just find that out.
Okay,
if they
well, who
want,
is it? Look, Tamim, just tell me, who is it?
Well, I would honestly say no comment. I would just rather say...
Well, Tamim, what you're going to have to learn, and what experience do you have in journalism, apart from working for this shady group, the Centrist?
Well, I did community radio for quite a few years, and I was involved in music.
Where?
And I was a news junkie.
Where?
Where? In Vancouver.
In Vancouver, okay. Can I ask you, just in general terms, are the owners and the principals of the Centrist New Zealanders or not?
I beg your pardon?
Are the owners and the operators of the Centrist New Zealanders or not?
Well, I'm not. So I'm an operator. And I might even be listed as an owner. I have to double check that. But I'm the director.
No, you're the sole
Limited,
director. Tamim, you're the sole director on the company's register.
Yeah.
Well, so who pays you the money? Is it just your little outfit? Are you just a one-man band?
No, we have a team.
This is all sounding a little bit dodgy, Julian Assange to me.
Well, may I say, if you had asked, I came on to discuss Oranga Tamariki, which I'm happy to do.
Well, I came on to discuss you because you seem quite shady.